Sometimes suicide seems like the right option. What is your take on that?
Suicide never made sense to me. And I'm speaking from experience because growing up, my mom tried to kill herself in front of me over 100 times. She literally tried to slit her wrists in front of me every single night for months and months. That was years after she tried to jump off a bridge in front of me. And I never understood why she'd want to leave the world. Because whatever is broken, whatever is wrong, there is always a solution. There is always a way to fix it. And it just didn't make sense to me to just give up and leave. I mean, I didn't get it as a kid. I never had a suicidal thought in my mind. I think it's because I always knew, I always had an inner knowingness that my life would get better. Wouldn't it be great if you could develop that? If you could find an inner knowing that life is going to get better, that it is already better. Just because you're watching this video right now and you're onto something. Maybe you're about to learn how you can get rid of the negative feelings that you have that have been causing you so much pain that you'd rather leave this world because it seems so hopeless and it hurts so much, and what else can I do? I'm telling you, there are solutions out there. And if someone says there's nothing you can do and your pain will never go away, don't listen to them. Just because someone says that doesn't make it true. It just means they don't know. You have the ability to change your life. Everyone does. It's just a matter of learning how to do it. I'll tell you a story. One of my favorite teachers is named Harv Eker. He wrote a best-selling book called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. So he obviously became a self-made multimillionaire. When he was 30 years old, he was moving back into his parents' basement again. And his dad was playing cards with some friends. And one of his dad's friends was a rich real estate investor. And he saw Harv, 30 years old, broke, moving home to his parents' basement again, looking depressed. And he pulled Harv aside, and that's always something you should do if you want to teach someone something that might be kind of embarrassing. Never chastise people in front of other people. So he pulled Harv aside and he said, "Harv, moving back home again, huh?" "Yeah." And he said, "Harv, if there's something that you want that you don't have, it just means that there's something that you don't know." See, when I was growing up, I was always sick. I always had a cold. I had allergies my entire childhood. I felt like I was sick half the winter, every winter. Then I got asthma when I was 13 and I was in the emergency room all the time. When I was 16, I finally went to the doctor and they diagnosed me with arthritis because all my fingers hurt all the time. At 18, my stomach started hurting and it never stopped. At 19, blood started coming out of the toilet out of me. And then I started going to every kind of doctor I could find, and they all told me I would never get better, that there was nothing they could do, that I was already on the strongest medication. But you know what I did? I didn't believe them. I didn't think it was hopeless, that there was no way for me to get better. I knew before I ever met Harv and heard that story from him that if I wasn't healthy, it was just because there was something I didn't know. And just because this person was supposed to be an expert didn't mean that they had all the answers in the entire universe. They only had what they got from school. And honestly, how many people get straight A's all through college? There's plenty of things that they learned that they forgot. And in reality, even the world's greatest experts don't always know the right solution. So every time someone, a doctor of every type of medicine, told me I wouldn't get better, I thought to myself, just because you don't know how doesn't mean there isn't a way. I'm going to get better. And eventually, I did. I mean, look at me. I'm still alive. I'm supposed to be dead 20 plus years now. I was told I would die. I'm still here. In fact, I'm actually a lot healthier and stronger now than I ever was. That was the thing, right? I didn't give up hope on living. I didn't say, well, there's nothing I can do, so I should just give up. I didn't believe the experts who said there's nothing that could be done. I believed that there's a way, that there must be a way. Eventually, both my parents stopped doing crack cocaine and stopped doing all manner of drugs, stopped acting super crazy, and chilled out. That was pretty amazing. For years and years and years, I prayed and tried to figure out how I could get my parents off of drugs. It seemed absolutely hopeless. For 12 years, they literally did cocaine every single day that they had money, which was pretty much all the time. For 4 years, they didn't feed us for the last week of every single month. Can you imagine what that's like to lay on the couch in pain and go look in the fridge and the cupboard 20 times a day, even though you already know it's empty because there's just nothing else to do and you're so hungry that you can't even think? And that was my life for 4 years. But I never imagined that it wouldn't get better. I knew that it would. I eventually created my dream life from that. Now, if I can go from growing up like that to creating my dream life, well, can't everyone do that? I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So no matter how bad you feel right now, I want you to know there are solutions that you probably haven't heard of before. Really, there are. It's just that you have to be willing to open your mind and try them out. You know, my program has a 30-day money-back guarantee for a reason, because it works. It absolutely freaking works. And because it works, we give people a guarantee. Why shouldn't we? It works for everyone. The only people it doesn't work for are the people that don't work the program. If you learn the 7 steps to reprogramming yourself, a way to permanently erase emotional pain, and you don't do it, well, then it's not going to work. And that's the only way that it doesn't work. Can you imagine that? You know, I have this client named Eric, and I'm sure that there's many layers to go for every person, maybe even for Eric. But last year, he came to the 3rd course in this series, Becoming Your Authentic Self. And he shared something with us that I didn't know. None of us knew about this. He shared with us that he had been suicidal for most of his life. Sound familiar? And that he had tried everything that there is. He had been given electric shock therapy. God, I forgot now. Was it over 60 times? Over 60 times. He'd been institutionalized. He had taken and then been weaned off of every pharmaceutical drug that there is. And he tried every modality that the world has to offer. And he was taking massage. And during the training, he met a gal named Shelly Rogers. And Shelly told him about how taking my courses had changed her life. She used to have panic attacks every day, gone after the first day of training. She cleared out a lifetime of abusive men and married her dream guy. True story. And she was telling him that my training could help him get over his depression and being suicidal. And he came to see me talk, and he told the audience that when Shelly was telling him about me, he thought that she was full of shit. Yes, I did use a swear word. And that when he came to see me talk for 2 hours, he knew that it was bull crap. But he signed up anyway because there was nothing else to do. He literally had tried everything. So he told us that at first he didn't see a change by doing the 7 steps, but he kept doing it 30 minutes a day. And after 3 or 4 months, he began to notice a shift. And after a year, I think he said it was about a year and a half, he didn't have any more suicidal thoughts, and that he hadn't had any for months at that point. That was amazing. And now during that course, when he came in, his face was really flat, like emotionless, not happy, not sad, just blank. And that's not really happy to me, And I really watched his face during that 5-day Becoming Your Authentic Self course. And on the 4th day, on the 3rd day, we had this massive breakthrough exercise that is very unique to my program. And it really breaks down all the walls to giving and receiving love. And it changes everyone. It just changes them forever. People who can't hug can actually hug. People who don't have warmth are warm. It's mind-blowing. And the next day after that, when he came in, he actually had a genuine smile on his face. It was almost like light was coming out of his smile and out of his eyes. And on the 5th day was even stronger. That was amazing. And that was when he shared with us what happened. And I just thought, oh my God, Eric, first of all, thank you for having the courage to not kill yourself and keep looking for a way and trying everything and even trying my program. Secondly, thank you for not giving up after 30 days, but continuing to do it every day until it actually worked. You see, he worked it instead of expecting it to just work overnight. He had a lot of layers. That's what it is. When people are really, really in pain and they're suicidal, they usually have a lot of layers. And how long is it going to take to get through all the layers? It could take you days, weeks, months, even years. But the thing is, he didn't give up. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has more layers to go. But just to see that smile, and for him to say I hadn't had a suicidal thought in months, that must have been like a miracle. Well, when are you going to create your miracle? I mean, it's really just waiting for you. It took me years to figure out how to teach the 7 steps so that everyone, and I mean 100% of the people who take the course can understand it and do it. And it took even more time, it took more years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to create a really high-end online platform so that everyone in the world can watch the recording of me teaching it anytime they want on demand. Like you could literally click on a link, put in your information, and start watching the 7 Steps to Reprogramming Yourself course right now. And after 4 hours plus exercise time, you'll be able to do your first practice round and erase your first layer that's causing you pain. And then you're going to learn how to do it 10 times as fast as you go through days 2 and 3 of the course. How long is it going to take for you to erase all those layers until you feel happy and you don't want to kill yourself? You couldn't even imagine it. Well, I don't know. It depends on how hard you work and how many layers you have. But when you do that, will you please send me a testimonial video of your story, just like Eric's. You know, Eric's is on my YouTube channel. You don't have to take my word for it. Watch him. You know, these are just real people like you that suffered, and when they got better, they wanted to share with other people to inspire. I hope I inspired you today. I hope you'll consider living. What a precious gift it is. I'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and stay in touch. My name's Arnoux.